Hello guys! Welcome to Sissygram Genderbender Stories on YouTube. Today, I am bringing you a brand new genderbender story. If you like my voice, please hit the like button and don't forget to subscribe to our channel for regular updates. Now, let's start the story. Alex hesitated as he walked toward the school gymnasium, each step echoing in the quiet hallway. Although he had agreed to step in for Miss Maya as a chaperone at the school dance, he was far from thrilled about it. He didn't enjoy these kinds of events, and the thought of spending his Friday night in the company of high school students only added to his discomfort. Yet, when Miss Maya had asked him, he hadn't been able to say no. As he approached the gym doors, the booming music from the dance floor reverberated through the walls. Alex took a moment to adjust his tie and straighten his shirt, which had become slightly wrinkled in his rush to change after school. He'd gone home quickly to avoid looking like the stereotypical, uptight English teacher he often seemed to be. With a deep breath, Alex opened the heavy doors and stepped into the transformed gymnasium. It no longer resembled a school gym, but a lively nightclub complete with flashing lights, a DJ booth, and snack tables lining the walls. Students gathered in groups, either mingling on the dance floor or chatting and laughing in small clusters around the room. Alex made his way to the punch bowl, offering awkward nods to a few students who recognized him. As he poured himself a drink, he found himself wishing for something stronger to help him get through the night. "Mr. Alex, didn't expect to see you here," said Alina Chen, one of his brightest students, flashing him a friendly smile. Her hair was styled in an elaborate updo, and her sparkling blue dress made her look much older than her 17 years. "Hello, Alina," Alex replied. "I'm just filling in for Miss Maya tonight." "That's a shame," she said with a slight pout. "We were all excited to see her let loose on the dance floor." Alex chuckled at the thought of his usually proper colleague dancing. "I'm afraid you'll have to settle for my two left feet instead." Alina's eyes twinkled with mischief. "Maybe we can convince you to show us your moves later." Before Alex could respond, her friends called her over, and she quickly disappeared into the crowd. Alex watched her go, a wave of nostalgia sweeping over him. Had he ever been that carefree in his own high school days? As the night wore on, Alice's boredom intensified. He'd already had to break up a couple of make-out sessions in the gym's dark corners and had confiscated a flask of vodka from a group of giggling seniors. The novelty of being a chaperone had long worn off, and when he checked the time, he realized there were still 2 hours left before the dance ended. With a sigh, Alex decided to take a short break outside in the cool night air, reasoning that the other chaperones could handle things without him for a few minutes. Leaning against his old Civic, Alex pulled out a pack of cigarettes. Though he hadn't smoked in a while, he always kept a pack for moments like this. He lit one and took a deep drag, the smoke swirling around him in the still night. Just as he began to relax, a rustling sound from the nearby bushes made him tense, wondering if he had stumbled upon some students engaging in inappropriate behavior. He started to investigate, but was stopped when a figure emerged from the shadows. "Mr. Alex, what are you doing out here?" Miss Maya asked, her voice laced with amusement. She stood before him, dressed in a form-fitting black dress, her auburn hair cascading over her shoulders in soft waves. Her green eyes sparkled in the moonlight. Alex's heart skipped a beat as he quickly dropped his cigarette. "Miss Maya, I thought you weren't coming tonight." She smiled, her eyes playful. "I managed to make time for it." "I hope you don't mind that I crashed the party." "Not at all," Alex said a bit too quickly, perhaps feeling a bit too eager to have her join him. "I am actually glad you were here. I was starting to go stir crazy in there." Miss Maya laughed, the sound soothing to Alex's ears. "Well, we can't have that. How about we liven things up a bit?" From her purse, she pulled out a flask and offered it to him with a knowing wink. Alex hesitated, torn between his responsible teacher instincts and the desire to impress her. In the end, he gave in to temptation. "It's not like we're driving anywhere," he muttered to himself as he took a sip. To his surprise, the drink wasn't the harsh burn of whiskey or vodka, but something sweet and fruity, with a metallic aftertaste. "What is this stuff?" Alex asked, raising an eyebrow. Miss Maya grinned and took a sip herself. "Just a little something to help us unwind. Come on, let's head back inside before we're missed." As they walked back into the gym, Alex felt a strange warmth spreading through his body, and his skin tingled with a buzz he hadn't expected. The world around him seemed to shimmer, but he chalked it up to the alcohol hitting him harder than he anticipated. Feeling emboldened, he followed Miss Maya onto the dance floor. The next few hours passed in a blur of flashing lights, pounding music, and carefree dancing. Alex laughed and danced with a freedom he hadn't felt in years. Miss Maya stayed close to him, her body brushing against his in ways that sent electric thrills through him. When the final song played and the lights came up, Alex blinked in confusion. The gym seemed different, more elaborate than it had been before. He turned to Miss Maya to comment on the change, but froze, unable to speak. The woman standing beside him wasn't Miss Maya at all. Instead, he found himself face to face with a stunning blonde cheerleader in a uniform. "Earth to Alexa, are you still with us?" the cheerleader asked, her blue eyes twinkling with mischief. Alex's mind spun, struggling to comprehend the situation. Who was Alexa? Why did he feel so strange? He looked down at himself in shock. His usual teacher's clothes were gone, replaced by a cheerleading uniform. Even more startling was the feminine figure he now had. Panic surged in his chest as he stumbled into the nearest restroom, barely noticing that he had entered the girls' bathroom. The face that stared back at him in the mirror was both familiar and completely foreign. Soft, feminine features framed by long chestnut hair. He raised a trembling hand to touch the reflection. "This can't be happening," Alex whispered in a higher, more melodic voice. "I must be dreaming." The bathroom door opened, and the blonde cheerleader entered with a concerned expression. "Alexa, honey, what's wrong? You look like you've seen a ghost." "I don't know what's happening." Now Alexa, stammered, trying to make sense of the conflicting memories flooding her mind. "This isn't me. I'm not supposed to be like this." The cheerleader softened and placed a comforting hand on Alexa's shoulder. "It's okay. Just breathe. Did you drink too much at the after party?" Alexa's mind raced, trying to make sense of everything. The memories of being Alex faded as new, unfamiliar memories of being a young girl, cheerleading, and a boy named Grayson took root. She tried to resist, but found herself slipping into this new identity. "I think I am okay," she said, forcing a smile despite the confusion. As the night wore on, Alexa struggled to understand the new life she found herself in. The memories of Alex seemed to be slipping further away as she accepted the identity of Alexa. She laughed with her friends and went along with plans as though it had always been her life. Yet, a part of her couldn't forget the strange events that had led her to this point. Finally, as she left the diner with her friends, a familiar face caught her eye. Miss Maya sat across the room, looking exactly as she had earlier that evening. Their eyes met, and Miss Maya gave a knowing smirk before turning her attention back to the man sitting across from her, someone Alexa didn't recognize. Alexa's heart raced, realizing Miss Maya might hold the answers to everything. As she walked home alone, her mind swirled with confusion and fear. How had she gone from being Alex, the teacher, to becoming Alexa, the cheerleader? More importantly, how could she return to her old life? Suddenly, she heard footsteps behind her. When she turned around, she was met by Miss Maya, who seemed to know exactly what had happened. With a cryptic explanation, Miss Maya confirmed that everything had been orchestrated by her. She had helped Alex embrace a part of himself he hadn't known existed, Before Alexa could respond, the world around her shifted, and she found herself back on the dance floor, surrounded by students. The prank was revealed. Everything from her new memories to her life had been fabricated by Miss Maya and the drama club. Though Alex felt humiliated by the elaborate prank, he couldn't help but admire the creativity and effort that had gone into it. As the night ended and students filed out, Alex realized that perhaps it was time to let go of his rigid ways and embrace a little more excitement. Who knew what other surprises life had in store? This is where the story ends. I spend hours of effort creating these kinds of stories, so if you're new to this channel, please hit the like button and subscribe my Sissygram Genderbender Stories YouTube channel. Also, don't forget to comment on what you would do if you were in his place. I'm eagerly waiting for your comments, and I personally read all of them. Okay, guys, thanks for joining. And I'll see you in the next story in the next video. Take care and bye.